white privilege exists. Okay? Prove it. No.
The horngus of a dongfish is attached by a scungle to a kind of dill sack.
Are meat eaters more likely to be racists?
Yeah, probably.
According to a new study by an international team of researchers, your thoughts about marriage equality and racial justice could be linked to your affinity for steaks and sausages.
So when it comes to every other kind of meat, then we're good? Chicken, fish, lamb, they're A-okay? That's a bit odd.
In other words, if the idea of killing another living being for dinner doesn't leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Well, the thing is, we have a whole meat industry to do the killing for me. And when they do the killing for me and they process the meat, ready for human consumption, I'm sure once it's prepared properly and cooked in just the right way with just the right amount of seasoning, it'll leave a wonderful, delightful taste in my mouth.
Then you're probably not too bothered by other social injustices either.
What? Eating meat isn't a social injustice. Last time I checked, social injustices only affected humans. And hey, I do give a fuck about social injustices, just not the ones conjured up in the heads of fucking wotards. And yeah, I looked at the entire article and it's just a load of fucking baloney.
It is folly. It is folly.
That's right, Boromir. It is folly. Peter, if you want me to stop eating meat by inferring that I could be a racist or something, that's not gonna work. Did you not get the memo? The word racist and the term racism doesn't bloody mean anything anymore. Try harder.
I think some people, specifically the white ones, need to learn the difference between racism and bullying, and fast.
Disguising racism as bullying. Well, that's a new angle for sure.
Words like snow possum, frost fiend, they don't have the same historical baggage as words like the N-word do.
But you see, by using those awful anti-white slurs, you are more or less creating that baggage.
Non-black people using the N-word contributes to a system of oppression that is hundreds of years old.
And what system of oppression would that be? Is it here right now? Don't really know what you're talking about. You're just as free as I am. Maybe even a bit freer. Especially as it's absolutely societally permissible for you to use these anti-white racial slurs at a whim.
Meanwhile, calling a white person a yeast yeti or a frost fiend is definitely mean, but it doesn't have the same societal impact.
I would sort of beg to differ. Thanks to that kind of rhetoric, we now have DEI programs, positive discrimination, white people being denied employing opportunities for the virtue of just being white. The fact that the aforementioned anti-white slurs are thrown around like confetti at a fucking wedding without any kind of consequence or admonishment. I think anti-white racial slurs as well as anti-white rhetoric is seeping into our society, and you're certainly contributing to it.
Because there is no 400-year-old system of oppression working against white people.
There's no 400-year-old system of oppression working against anyone.
It's just not nice, but we say not nice stuff to each other all the time. At the end of the day, race is just another feature of existence that human beings use to describe each other. And without the historical baggage of words like the N-word, mocking someone for being white really isn't all that different from mocking them for being an idiot or for being ugly.
Ah, interesting. So you are equating whiteness with ugliness and stupidity.
Because just like race, intelligence and attractiveness are just other things that we use to describe ourselves. That's why people say racism is prejudice plus power. Because without societal power, prejudice doesn't really do anything.
Do you think it's likely that I could call you the N-word and get away with it? If the answer is no, then what fucking power are you talking about? Can I get hired over you for a job by the color of my skin? I don't think so. So again, what are you talking about? Whether you like to admit it or not, there is a growing racial hatred towards white people. It's been festering for quite a long time. So while you think that you have no power, and that us evil bad whiteys still do, I'm just getting the impression that you think it's okay for anti-white hatred to build up to the same level that black people suffered at one time, many, many years ago, before you were even born. Look, I get it. Your grift is a very popular one, and one that gains a lot of gravity on TikTok. I suppose what I'm trying to say, and what I always say to people like you is, if you just hate white people, just say it.